we're here with Josh Malone. We are doing a Raw Spotlight interview. And yeah, we just wanted to kind of get together and chat about what you do with photography. So
Awesome.
what first drew you to pick up a camera?
Yeah, I've always been interested in it. I thought it was a cool, I thought the people that had the big fancy cameras were sweet and it did better than my phone camera. So I always thought that was super interesting. I tried video years ago, realized very quickly that video was not my thing and video is very difficult. And I give people a lot of props that do video. And I just like doing photo better. Yeah, I just thought the cameras were cool. Picked it up. I thought my photos actually turned out pretty well, so I just figured I'd stick to it.
Love that. How
Can
would
I
you
ask?
describe your style?
My style right now, obviously concert entertainment.
Mhm.
I do a lot of sports, so a lot of action stuff. Um, Still kind of learning a bunch, so I would say just between sports and entertainment, those are my two right now.
Love that.
When did you decide to pick up the camera? Like, when was that moment where you were like, yeah, I want to do this? Was it during like a concert? Was it maybe during like a sports event, maybe wrestling?
Yeah, so it's funny. That's actually another thing I do. I do take a few photos of a couple of indie wrestling events as well. I used to when I was a teen, a kid, I would go to a summer camp every single year through church camp, and every single time I would always take a photo elective. Um, Again, it got me out of the classroom esque and actually got me to go around and be able to take photos of people doing activities or just doing whatever. So that's when I picked it up. I'd say maybe when I was 12, 13 years old. And again, I just like taking the photos. I thought it was cool. People like to see their photo when it's all done and over with. So people like to reach out and be like, hey, let me see that photo that you took. They're interested in it as well. So that's when I picked it up and that's what I like doing.
When you're shooting a concert, like a show, or even just out shooting, what moment makes you like want to lift the camera without thinking? Like what kind of is like that just instantaneous, like I gotta capture this.
Yeah, I would say just action. If they're moving, if it's not just them standing still or sitting still, if they're moving at all, I think that's it, right? People want to see that. I also look at it as like if I think this is going to look sweet later, I'm taking the photo. Going back to, we met at the Quinn 92 concert.
Hmm.
We were shooting him, I was kind of backing up and he saw me backing up and kind of gave me like a little wave. And I'm like, that's perfect. I want that photo. I want him waving at me. Like, that's awesome. So I'd say any sort of action or any sort of just non-normal feel, I'm taking the photo regardless. And I have a trigger finger, so I'm gonna hold down that button and just get everything too. So
I love that. Yeah, I
Totally
definitely
were
understand.
great.
yeah.
What do you hope people feel when they look at your photos? Like what's that like feeling inside, I guess?
Yeah, I think I go back to myself too, because I do this a lot. Like I just want them to be like, that's a sweet photo, or like I want them to feel like they were down there and they saw like Quinn 92 up close, even if they were all the way on the lawn. It's like I was at that show. I want to, that's how I felt in that moment. This is a sweet photo. I'm going to share it. And then also just like going back to sports, if it's a really cool play, if someone's hurdling, I have a great photo of. I don't want to brag. I really don't want to brag at all, but I have a really
Oh
cool
no,
photo of somebody
brag.
hurdling over, and I was the only photographer that day to get that photo.
Wow.
And the player loved it, the team loved it, everybody was sharing it. So I hope it's like people look at the photo, be like, "That's a sweet photo," and share it. That's huge to me. So
So like, it's kind of cool to be the one person to get that one shot. What kind of energy are you most drawn to when looking for that kind of shot?
yeah, I mean, like kind of like back to the last question. Just as long as there's
Hmm.
action going on, that's what I'm drawn towards. I just took a photo. I don't know if I posted them yet or not. The other night of Drake White and his guitarist, like they were introducing him and like kind of making him. He was his hometown show, so they're kind of putting him on the spot. And he held up his guitar and had like this big smile on his face, and I'm like, that's it. That's the emotion that I want to see. It's the action I want to see. So
Has there been a moment where something shifted in your creative process or in how you see your work?
I wouldn't say I'd say yes and no.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say anything drastic. Just again, I'm so new and I'm still kind of learning on the spot. Um, I think my biggest thing is, I don't like to compare my photos and myself to others. I kind of think that that's my style, right? I want my photos to look like my sort of thing, so I don't like to compare a ton. But at the same time, I also want to know what other people are doing. If I see a cool photo, I'm like, I want to try that the next time. I will. and kind of if I like it, I'll continue to do so, and I'll kind of change that way. But I wouldn't say that there's ever or there has been like a big moment right now that shifted anything.
So how does Detroit influence the way that you shoot or the way you see people?
Yeah, I mean, Detroit is known for grit, hardworking, the culture here, the swag, people will say. So I guess, trying to relate more to that, make my photos relate to that a little bit would be awesome. It's funny, like Detroit and the environment. I don't go out and shoot a lot. It's always the sports or just the concerts. So it's a little different for me on that aspect. But it is cool to showcase those few things if I have the opportunity to do so.
Let's go.
Yeah. Are there certain places or pockets of Detroit that you feel like the most creatively aligned with you?
I guess I can make it a little personable here. When I first actually started taking photos with a good camera and not my iPhone, I took one of my favorite shots of my now fiance, the girlfriend at the time,
Oh,
just in campus marshes, like the most basic shot in downtown Detroit. But it was like I had this 2.8 lens on. She was perfect. Everything was blurry in the background. She was spinning around. It caught her, but the city aspect in the background I thought was sweet. Anything with the cityscape in the background I think is my favorite. So yeah, I'll always love that spot just from that one photo alone. But definitely need to get out and see more of it to try and find what if there's anything else out there. I know there is. So
hmm. Yeah, definitely Belle Isle is like really, a scenic place. So I would recommend checking that out. Obviously, you already mentioned it, but Campus Martius is like a beautiful. I work right down in Campus Martius, so I'm always there. So for me, it's like, oh yeah, it's a normal Wednesday. But for
yeah.
like, tourists and stuff, they've never seen that area. That's really cool area for people. And that's like the cool part about photography is like it kind of transports you. So,
Yeah, I think the thing with photography with me too, it's so funny. Like a lot of my photographer friends will go out and do the nature stuff or do like
mhm.
the just the city stuff, and for whatever reason, like I'll be upfront and honest. I've tried it. I don't love doing the nature stuff. I love doing concerts and entertainment and sports. Like those are my love that stuff, right? I can go out and take photos of nature and take photos of the city and take whatever and love them. It's just not my niche, right? But I think something I'm going to challenge myself a lot this next year is to go out and actually do more of that stuff, just to broaden my repertoire, my portfolio, and stuff like that.
So how do you feel about photography now that you've done it for like a little bit? Is it like, do you feel like it's more so documenting the world or expressing the way you experience it?
I think a little bit of both, but I think the way I experience it, like I said, I look for specific things that other people might not, and um, I think it's just more of just what I've seen. When I first started taking photos, my biggest goal was to take one that the fans at the top of the venue felt like they were in the pit, just like I kind of said earlier. I want them to feel like they were there, and then I always used to wait, on Instagram for the band to post or for the event to post that night, like when I was a fan, so I could reshare it. So I think it's just, I hope I'm answering this question right, but I just think it's more the way I experience it. I want people to feel like I was there, I was in the photo pit for that moment.
No, I totally understand that. It's kind of just like, in a way, looking through your lens. What am I
Yeah,
visualizing?
absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I look for that stuff too. I look for a sweet photo from the event that I was at to be like, that's awesome. I wish I could have seen it from them, that angle, but I am through Instagram through that photo.
So now you're kind of like reversing it a little bit. Like
Yeah,
this is now I am the one giving the other people
exactly.
this experience.
Exactly. I think it's awesome. I think
That's
photography
great.
is so underrated in that realm. So
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now you know you're giving people service.
absolutely.
How would you say that photography shapes your sense of identity or purpose?
My purpose of photography is just the hope that other people can relive the moments. Just again, going back to kind of what I just said. That's my purpose for it, and I also want to look back and be like, I was there in this awesome moment, right? So I don't have like a concrete answer for it, but I just hope that someone could look at the photo and relive that moment from that night, right?
What would you say, what part of your creative voice do you feel like you're still uncovering?
I think all of it. I'm still very new. When I met LJ, this was my third concert I think I've ever done, and it was at what Freedom Hill, so that's
Hmm.
so let's say 13,000 person venue, and that was my third ever concert, right? So I'm still so new. I'm still learning. Um, I think one big thing is just learning to make or how to make my photo stand out a little more. And that's just, again, learning from other artists, other photographers, and how they've kind of learned how to make their photo stand out more, whether it's, different positioning, different, lens cap filters, different way of editing, like anything. So I'm still learning every single day, and I think I'll be learning for a long time. So I still think there's a lot to uncover here.
I feel like it's never ending. Like you're
Mhm.
always learning, especially when it comes to like editing, just because, each software has something new going on and it's just how you use it more so.
Absolutely. And it's so tough. Like, I used to be the one to try and make the photo perfect so I don't have to edit a ton, but now I'm in the boat where it's like, okay, I actually want to play around and edit this as much as I can just to make it look perfect. So again, it's just kind of finding that happy middle and balance it out a little bit.
Is there anything that you're like currently learning how to do, or is there anything you want to do, like learn to do?
Um, I'm really open to learning everything. I'm still so basic with my editing. It's funny. I tell people all the time, like I shoot on an old DSLR still, which is not great for concert photography. Um,
I just
but
upgraded.
yeah, but I mean, like I think I'm editing it very well that people don't really know that I'm shooting on a DSLR still. So again, I really don't want to brag 'cause I'm still so new and I'm still learning. But I, yeah, I just want to learn everything. I'm gonna learn everything, and it's gonna take time, but I'm gonna get there eventually.
I mean, honestly, I'm looking at your Instagram right now, and it's like you have a great foundation where you're starting from. So,
Like, I
Mhm.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean that's why we wanted to chat with you more was like, it one of the things that Soundcheck loves about music and art and everything is like we don't care your size at the end of the day. Like you could have one follower or you could have 1 million followers, right? It's really about just connecting with people and telling their stories. And everybody has that story inside them, whether they're from the fan seat, photographer seat, or the artist on stage. And so I think it's, humble brag, it's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's all good. We
It's
we
funny.
are excited to like chat with you and we're excited to like learn from you too, And that's the
Awesome.
best part about connecting with others is like you get that opportunity to like hear what they think, but also learn from them.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. It's like I went to school for sport management. I didn't go to school for, digital arts,
Mhm.
photography, whatever. Photography is not my main job. I do operations, I do behind the scenes stuff. So it's just funny, like we don't ever look for the credit, but we're, huge part of how everything's successful. So I just always be like, I don't want to brag, don't want to brag, don't want to brag. But no, I do appreciate the kind words though, and it's only up from there. So go from there.
Exactly, exactly. And I mean,
right.
yeah, you don't discredit like the hard work you have put in too. I mean, like it's so easy to be like, yeah, I'm new. I've done like I don't know how many shows you've done, but let's say you've done like 10, 15. And that's awesome. Like how many people want that just one, you
Right.
know? And so it's really special to like be able to like get that opportunity, right? Like you just mentioned, Freedom Hill having or what was it? Yeah, like
Mhm.
Michigan Lottery or whatever. Those venues are massive,
Sure.
any number of person in the crowd would probably like, do anything for that kind of opportunity. And so it's just a testament to your work and your work ethic to be able to like, get those kind of gigs, especially like so new.
Yeah, and I appreciate that as well. That's awesome.
When you shoot live music, what emotion are you trying to capture maybe? Is there anything like I know you mentioned action a lot, but is there any
Sure.
emotions that you're like this I have to capture?
Yeah, I think a big one, I'm sure you can relate to it too, is just the artists when they're doing crowd interaction, whether
Mhm.
it's them putting the mic out to the crowd or it's putting their foot on the railing and reaching out to the crowds, or when Quinn jumped into the crowd. I know we weren't able to photograph that because it was after like the first three songs. It was like one of the last songs, but like jumping into the crowd, like that's massive. Like you don't, not a lot of people do that anymore. So that's a big one. Gratitude. I'm not. I was never able to photograph Post Malone shows, but I'm a big
Mhm.
Post Malone fan. I've been to a lot of his shows, and the amount of gratitude that he shows to the fans and to everything is massive too. That would be a great shot. And then the third one to me is just raw emotion. Just saying how new I am. My first ever show, I was fortunate enough to do Jesse Murph, who's now just blowing up, which is awesome that I was able to do that now, right? But she came out and within the first 30 seconds for singing her first song, she was bawling her eyes out. She claimed she was sick a few songs later and she wasn't feeling great, but I think she was just overtaken with the crowd. They were screaming the words like I feel like you could hear the person all the way at the top. So being able to get a couple photos of her just crying, her with her hand on her chest, but her smiling, but you could see the tears coming down. Like that's a moment that not a lot of people see. Not a lot of people are going to be able to photograph. So um, those are the things I look for: the raw emotion, the crowd interaction, that stuff. I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, that's real special. True. Truly. It's like it's like not everybody, to your point, can capture those kind of things and capture them well and like tell a story. And I think that's one of the things that draws me so much to photography is like storytelling.
Absolutely.
Now that we talked about you currently, like maybe looking ahead, what do you hope evolves in your work over the next few years?
I think right now, it's kind of photo related, but it's not. It's just the exposure. I hope to reach a lot more people. I hope to double my shows. I hope to be constantly busy with work and then photos afterwards, right? Um, so again, it is related to the photos, but it's not exactly just more exposure and again, more learning. I just want to get out there more is really my thing looking ahead.
That's great. That's great. Honestly, just keep going. Just keep
Mhm.
going. Like that's the best advice you could give somebody. Just keep going.
Yeah, and I was telling LJ before we started the actual interview, but
Mhm.
it's so busy right now in my work, and it's Christmas time, right? But like, it's good to be busy. I want to stay busy, so that's just the goal: is to constantly be busy.
I
Even
mean, you're
then,
you're in the
like
right
Christmas time is
industry.
such a good time
Yeah, very
for
true.
like
It's like
photography and everything.
yeah, and again, as I was mentioning, like my actual job is operations. I work in sports. And
Hmm.
sports just never stops. It's the middle of basketball season right now. I work in basketball, and it's busy. It's busy. It's busy. It's busy, but it's so good.
Oh
So
God.
like, where do you see yourself in like maybe 1 year, 5 years, 10?
We'll see. Again, just kind of going back to the last question is really,
Hmm.
doubling, maybe tripling my shows and just being busy, right? I'd love to be shooting, more of the bigger shows. Obviously the Fillmore is huge. It's a big venue to be able to be at. St. Andrews Hall and District 142 in Wyandotte, I do a lot of. Just kind of those smaller shows. It'd be awesome to get to the point where, you're doing Pine Knob or you're doing LCA and maybe not constantly, but one or two shows here and there. It'd be cool to be at Ford Field for a massive stadium show, right? That stuff would be cool. But I just hope to, be able to be constantly shooting shows in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years down the road. I hope that that's, one of my mainstream stuff doing on a daily basis.
Do you see
Oh,
yourself kind of like traveling with artists?
It'd be cool. I would say right now with, being newly engaged, starting a family probably soon. I'd say right now probably not, but I do think it would be really, really cool. I'm still fairly young, but myself 3 to 5 years ago would have been a lot cooler to do that sort of stuff. Now I have a house payment, I have a family I'm trying to start. Might not work out now, but it would be cool to do a little stint, a little run, right?
hey, you never
Right.
know. There's always 5-day tours here and there.
True, absolutely,
Just take a
Mhm.
week off work and say, I'll see you guys next week.
absolutely.
I'm a big goal setter, so I like to ask this kind of question, but we kind of alluded to it, but do you have any like specific like goals that you have for photography other than just like shooting like X amount of shows or anything, like any like tangible, specific, measurable goals that you're like looking to set for the next year, especially since we're headed straight into the next year
Mm.
here soon.
Yeah. I'm gonna be really boring and say no, I don't. But I do. Like I said, just more exposure and I want to post more. I want to post not just 5 photos from the show before. Like I want to go a few weeks and do like maybe one photo at a time, right? I want to boost
Mhm.
my followers. I want to, I just did a little bit of a rebrand. I was going as Malone Media. I'm now just doing Josh Malone Photo. Has my actual name out there a little bit more. And it's just boost that sort of stuff. I know it's not photography driven; it's more on the back end of exposure and whatnot. But I'd say that's one of my biggest goals is just utilizing the social media and my online presence a little more.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things you mentioned earlier was that you're like really interested in learning a lot this next year as well. And I recommend slash slightly challenge you a little bit maybe. Maybe you could bring your followers along for that journey, right? Like I'm sure there's at least one, if not more, persons that you can like, help through that journey. If you're just like, today I learned about ISO, today I learned about aperture, people need that content.
1,000%.
The amount of
And
people that
so
don't
even
know
if
what
it's
that
a
is.
story, but you can always put it on your feed too. There's people out there that are dying for that kind of content. So
Uh,
Never be afraid to tell your story.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. I think another thing I kind of want to do is I think more for the sports scene because I think sports photography is so scarce and so people are trying to get into it.
Hmm.
I do Wayne State, some of Wayne State sports here in Detroit. Even bring along like I don't want to say a GoPro, but just a little thing and put on the camera just to see a couple of the shots. It could be a 1 minute video like you alluded to, just kind of showing that behind the scenes sort of thing. So now that you said it, I'll absolutely make it a goal and I'll challenge myself to do so. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, day in the life videos, you know. I did that for
Absolutely.
Quinn. People love
That's
them.
awesome.
I even challenged Fernando to do one of those too. So
All
hopefully,
right.
hopefully we got some daily vlogs coming of our
I was gonna
photographer
say
I'll
days.
we're
watch
gonna,
yours if you watch mine.
yeah. I was gonna race to see who does it first. So here we go.
Right.
Ooh, now it's a challenge. I like
He's
it.
already editing though. He probably
Matter
already
of
has
fact,
it
I'm
done.
recording right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love it. Um, what do you hope the future version of you behind the lens is proud of?
I'm gonna be super proud, and I already am, but super proud that I took the chance to do it. Um, I took a couple photos and I reached out to this random guy who I shoot for now, which I shoot for Breaking Scene Media. I don't know if I'm allowed to cross check what I do on your guys' channel.
Yeah, you're fine.
But I reached out to this guy and I'm like, hey, are you guys looking for anybody? I'd love to learn. I keep saying this too, but I'd love to learn more. But I'd also love to shoot for you guys. I noticed you guys have no one in Michigan. I'm happy to do it if you guys will let me. And he did, and it led me to where I'm at now, and getting all these shows lately, and meeting new people like you two. Like it's awesome. So just looking back, I'm gonna be proud that I took the chance to do it, and that I worked my ass off to do it too. Long days, long nights. I'm gonna be really proud that I spent the money to get a camera and actually put all the time and energy into it because it's a lot of fun and I hope to do it for a long time.
I know you were kind of saying like, oh, should I put this like media place like publication into this interview? But like honestly, like it's your story and we want you to tell it how it is, you know? So um it helps a lot of people kind of like realize like, oh, this is what I should be doing. Because everything that you said, stuff that we've done too, you know?
Hmm.
So it's a great way to like really show like, hey, I'm not alone in this journey and like I should be doing what my thoughts are telling me to do. So
Absolutely. I work in
100%.
sports. I work in operations. I'm like someone like me should not be going and taking photos, but I wanted to do it and I'm doing it and I'm the only one around here that's doing it that's in operations. So absolutely, if that's what you want to do, just try it. You're
I
gonna
mean
find
that's
out
a good
quick.
thing.
Yeah, you're gonna find out quick if you don't like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But I found out quick that I love it and I don't want to stop doing it. So
No, even in your job, you know, like it's gonna show that hey, he's willing, like you said, you know. Now I feel like I sound like the broken record, but like
no, you're good.
he's willing to work, you know. And yeah, he's the only one that's like bringing up the camera, but at the same time, like no one else is doing it.
Right.
So,
Right.
Right.
so you're the one going one step forward. You're the one giving the initiative, you know, and
Yeah.
that's what a lot of companies want to see too. So, you know, preach it.
100%. I mean, for us, right, like sound check is new as well. Like we just started this year and like it kind of came from like, just a conversation between me and Rebecca, one of the other co-founders. And we were both on a different what you call it, outlet. And so I don't know, we were both like not, happy with the directions that one was going. And we're like, what if we like did this, right? Like the blog posting and stuff, but like what if we went one step further and like put it together in like a PDF and called it a magazine? And then from there, we were like, well, we can, post it digitally. And then we made it, we're like, this is cool. I kind of want a physical copy. That's
Awesome.
what led to printing it. And now it's like, a thing. Like people care about it. People like want copies and like
Yeah.
you never know where like things will take you and how things will transpire. And now we have like a team of almost 12 people on
Awesome.
soundcheck, and it's been a crazy journey in like 1 year. But I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I think it's cool that people want it, right? You started it
Hmm.
as an idea. Now people are like, geez, I love that. I want to see that. Like, I think
Hmm.
that's in a short year, that's awesome. And very proud of you guys. And I've seen your stuff all over. It's awesome. Um, so yeah, that's perfect.
Well, we really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing.
So I guess just to wrap things up, do you got any shows or anything that you want to tease? Maybe like a next hopeful show or the next one you've booked, or anything like that.
Yeah, there's nothing I have booked yet, but I will say that I've gotten the approval and the go ahead to request and go forward with a lot of stuff that I wasn't able to a few months ago. Being so new, they were like, we're gonna leave it to our higher end people to get these shows. And now it's like, okay, I'm finally starting to come along. Sure, you could have these, and they're arena shows, they're Pine Knob shows, they're bigger shows that I wasn't able to get back in, July and August. So nothing booked yet, but I will say that I'm finally gotten to the level where they trust me a little bit more in doing that. I'm also, I reached out to grow our breaking scene media as the outlet I shoot for. Also very new. It was a rebrand from what I'm familiar with over the last year. So I've taken over a little bit of the Instagram stuff too. I'm posting more of our stuff that was only on the website or on Facebook onto Instagram because Instagram is massive. That's where our network is. They're all on
Mhm.
Instagram. Like we really need to push Instagram more. So being able to take over that for our outlet a little bit too is massive. So it's kind of what I'm working on. A little bit of social media and a little bit of the bigger shows hopefully coming up here soon.
That's awesome. And that just shows the growth, you know? Like
Yeah, absolutely.
think of where you were at the beginning of this year and where you are now, and it's probably beyond your wildest dreams.
I would say last December, because what I started shooting for the outlet in July. Last December, I had no idea any of this stuff existed. I didn't know where I was going to be with this stuff, and now I'm, neck deep into the water, barely treading, but we're getting it done. So
Amazing. Is there anything you want to promote or share with the listeners at home?
sure. I'm gonna plug myself. Can I plug myself a little
Yeah,
bit?
go ahead.
Yeah, so like I said, I went from Malone Media. I just rebranded to Josh Malone Photo. So I'm on Instagram at Josh Malone Photo. My portfolio is updated. It's Josh Malone Photo dot whatever. It's on my Instagram. Again, another rebrand we have to do. And then Breaking Scene Media. We do a little bit of everything. We do film reviews, show reviews, game reviews. We shoot wrestling. We shoot concerts. We shoot anything you can imagine. Just really trying to get that name out there a little bit. We do a little bit of everything. So please take a look at us, and I'm sure we will absolutely return the favor and shout you guys out there as well.
Beautiful.
Just make
Well,
sure
thanks
you
a
put
lot.
Josh Malone period photo.
Oh yeah,
Correct.
Yes.
Josh
Correct.
Malone period photo. Yep,
Correct. Thank
definitely
you very
important.
much. Thank
No
you very
problem.
much.
Yeah, I
And
don't
we'll
want
put that
to,
on screen.
right. I didn't want to give the promo to somebody else.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
Love it. Well, thanks again, Josh, for taking the time out of your day to chat with us. We really appreciated it. I know I enjoyed it, and I know we had the chance to meet and hang out a bit at the Quinn show, so it was great catching back up with you.
Absolutely. I hope it's not the last time. I hope we shoot a show again together soon.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
sure. I'm sure we'll cross paths soon, especially if I've been shooting a lot of shows at the Fillmore lately.
Awesome.
But I just did one at L Club, and that was
Okay.
a really cool one. So highly recommend checking that venue out if you haven't gone to any shows there yet.
Good to know.
But yeah,
And like you said, thanks for reaching out to me. Like I said, I saw you come across my Instagram DMs. I'm like, this is awesome. We're reconnecting already. We get to do this. So thanks for reaching out to me too. And I'm glad we got to do this.
perfect. Well,
And then
thanks so much.
Fernando, I'm gonna beat you to this day in the life video thing.
Oh.
It's a challenge now.
Now,
I'm
yeah,
ready.
right.
Guys,
I gotta post something today
cast your
now.
vote in the comments below. Let us know who's gonna get that post out first.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
All right. Well, you take care and thanks again for everything.
Thanks, guys. You as well.
Bye.